Hi, welcome back to the next installment of my book, Live Responsibly, Die Thoughtfully. We're reading this book together, and this is week 4. And we are looking at the chapter called Step 2, Overcoming Resistance to Our Mortality. And today is October 3rd, so Thursday. And I'm thinking that step 2 might be the most difficult. Last week we talked about just being able to talk about death, maybe bringing up some people who have died, their deaths, and that might. I'm curious how that went. If you had a chance to do that, but when we think about our own death, that is kind of scary. Imagining a world without us in it. What will our loved ones do if we have young children? That's pretty scary. If we have parents or partners who depend on us, it can be really challenging to think about not being here. And then there's also the question of what's next. Is there anything uh, after we die, after our bodies are no longer animated? I gave a sermon on this at my Unitarian Universalist church, so I will put up a post in my Facebook group and on my Facebook page, so you can check it out there. Actually, I'll put the link in the comments here too. Yeah, it was really interesting to just explore that with people and think about the possibilities for if there might be something. So this topic is hitting home right now. This being able to say I am going to die, because I have a dear friend who's 91, and she is going on hospice, I think today, and may not make it through the weekend. And I plan to go spend a lot of time with her. And it's it's really sad, and yet I find that it's been very healing to be with her at this time, because she is willing to make that choice to go on hospice and say that reality, speak that reality. Um, we spent a lot of time together over the last 2 years. She's the same age that my mom would have been, and so she's been like a mother to me. And I've visited her in the hospital, and we do simple things like brushing her hair, reading a poem to her. She loves Mary Oliver poems. Holding hands, just talking about the things that we did together, experiences we've shared. And it's been healing in a lot of ways, because, as you know from reading the book, my experience with my mom's death was not easy at all. We didn't get to say those things that really would have made a huge difference. And so, wow, it's been so powerful to be able to do this with my dear friend. And so, yeah, it comes down to what is going to bring us comfort at the end. And that's not where we are quite yet, but just being able to say, okay, there will be a time when I'm not alive on this planet anymore. And I start the chapter talking about how recognizing this and being able to say it out loud has lessened the amount of drama in my life. And you might be thinking, that's kind of weird. Why did this affect that? Well, when you're able to say, I am going to die, you realize that time is finite, and we don't know how much time we're going to have. This friend lived till 91, but my mom was gone at 74. I've had cousins who have died in their 50s, so it's we just don't know. And when we realize that time is finite, we can let go of resentments. We can look at our life and what is working well, what's not working well. What do I really want to do? What is my soul calling me to do? And I never would have gotten to this career, this way of being of service in my life, if I hadn't had this experience with the contrast in my parents' death. And so when I speak about living the life that my soul is meant to live, for some people it might be giving up work and going and doing missionary work, but that's not it's not like you have to be of service to other people. It's what are you really called to do? Some people just bring such joy and energy to other people's lives, and finding a way to be that for others. And if you enjoy that, great. Making music, making film, making art, being creative. That's really more of what I'm talking about. There will be ups and downs, of course, but you can deal with it with a lot more sort of equanimity when you say, okay, well, if I let that go, my life is going to be better. So, what happens if we don't take this step? Well, you read in the book about that 93-year-old in assisted living in memory care, unable to make any decisions for himself. He did finally just stop eating and drinking, and that was his way out. But those memories will stay with his family, those images of him just really uncomfortable. He was curled up in bed, just unable to straighten out his legs even. It just was, no ability to see, only one hearing aid that barely worked. And yeah, the only thing I could do with him was sing songs and hold his hand. And that's not the life that I want at the end of any time in my life. So if you are watching this and following along in the book, you are let's try this. Let's try putting our hand on our heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. And say with me, I am going to die. And yeah, tell me what feelings that brings up. And yeah, put those in the comments, please. And what that brings up in me is this desire to know what really matters to me. And that is one of the things that we do first in my Experience Peace of Mind Now program, where I take you through all the checklists, all the, I call the heart, soul, and mind of rest of life planning. And we start with these values, what is really important to you. And then you can use those values to make decisions, to measure, is this option something that would really help me live according to those values? So if you are thinking, if you're able to say, I'm going to die, and you want to get a head start on the next chapter, which is being accountable, I'm going to put that link for my calendar in the comments. And yeah, let's get together and figure this out for you. So my values are spirit, growth, community, and knowledge. And I feel like I am embodying those values. I'm living them out in my life the way I choose. I chose to buy a home in a trailer park so that I have neighbors. I'm doing this work. I'm very active in my Unitarian Universalist church, so there's lots of spirit, and always looking to grow and gain more knowledge. So, and it makes me happy. I have ups and downs in my life, of course, but this is what really makes life meaningful for me. So let's let go of things, right? When you can say these things, you can let go of things, people, situations that no longer serve you. You choose your priorities more clearly, make decisions, and easily make decisions. You deepen your connections with those who really matter to you. And what do you want for the rest of your life? Hopefully you still have time to live, and it's really your choice as to how a lot of that goes. So one more thing about accompanying this friend. One thing, I think I said that we really love chocolate. So in the hospital, I brought her a bar of chocolate and gave her just a tiny little bite because she's having some breathing issues. So sugar is not great for that. But I just knew that a bite of chocolate would just bring her such enjoyment. And so I gave her one piece and she said, okay, one more piece. And that smile on her face was just amazing to share together. Okay, so we've getting halfway through the Living Responsibly roadmap. Next week, we'll be talking about step 3, being accountable. So you want to take this awareness that you gained and get into action. And I will see you again next week. Bye.